Hi there, guys and girls. I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I know it's late. I know everyone else has done videos about it. But, I mean, as one of the guys that was crusading for this, I feel like I needed to make the video. And these guys, they did this interview with Ed Boon at San Diego Comic-Con. And the biggest, or the best part of information that came... Like, the interview's great, don't get me wrong. But for me... the standout moment was this right here, and I'm going to play it now, and yeah, I'm going to talk more about it if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
Are there any other Easter eggs that are a part of the expansion?
Yes, there's a big one that we're just not announcing. And like when we did the first Mortal Kombat game, we put a character in Reptile, and we never told anyone. We just put it in there, and then actually I didn't even tell the people I was working with, that it was in there. And the idea was, let's make it really rare, make it feel like a rumor, but it's actually there, and we want to do something like that again. So that's the extent I probably want to go. But you'll definitely start hearing about it, and you'll think back to today and go, "Oh, that's what he was talking about." So.
There you go. So something that I've been mentioning for the past whatever years is that they don't do secret characters in Mortal Kombat anymore. And now they're putting a secret character back in. And this is progression. This is one of the things that's missing from Mortal Kombat. This is one of the key things that makes up Mortal Kombat. And you heard what Ed said. And putting Reptile in MK1 was fucking genius. It was genius level. There'd been no secret characters in a fighting game. And to get it was such a rare achievement. Like, you had to know how to get it, right? And when the game came out, if you saw Reptile, and then you told people this guy jumped down and said, ha ha ha, 10 million if you defeat me, and then fatality is the key, and blocking will get you nowhere. He said something about fatality. People thought you were nuts, man. They thought you were full of shit. Because, as someone who owns the Mortal Kombat arcade machine, and I actually happened to catch it, one day I was just making all these videos, and I caught the clue, and the Reptile clue, and it's on my YouTube channel. I think it's got like 100,000 views of Reptile just dropping down and saying something and then disappearing. I managed to get it for the channel. But back in the day, people didn't fucking believe you. I don't know how I did it. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what buttons I was pushing. It just happened because it was random. And this is a question I asked Ed when I interviewed him the last time in 2008. Oh, sorry, the second last time I interviewed him. In 2008, I had this great half-hour interview with Ed Boon, and the audio sucks. But one of the questions I asked was about Reptile, and he told me that was a 1 in 100 chance of getting a Reptile clue.
It's a random function call. I think I said something like, 1 out of 100 chance or something, that happens.
So it's... Like I said, I've been playing Mortal Kombat, and it's the same with Mortal Kombat 2. It's the same rarity, except there's a Jade clue, a Smoke clue, and I think there's no Nipsobot clues. And, yeah, like I said, as someone who's owned the arcade machine, I've seen a Reptile clue 6 times. That's how rare it is. You just gotta keep playing the game, and keep... and hope that you hit that 1 in 100 when it every time a match starts. Do you know what I mean? That's when you're going to get your clue. And he said he didn't tell people on the team, and he wanted something in the game that sounded like a rumor that was real. That's why it was genius level, and that's why Mortal Kombat 1 has always been my favorite. It has so much ingenuity. It was so unique. It was so ballsy with the blood and the bloody pit and the secrets were so good. And it was the first game out of the gate with this stuff. And for me, it's just the Reptile secret is one of my absolute favorite things in Mortal Kombat. You wait for the shadow, and you get that moment. Because you don't see it straight away. You got to wait because there's a cloud. And then there's a space in the cloud, and then the moon's there. So you're looking at the moon, and then you look there for the first 1, 2, 3 seconds. Oh, nothing. 1, 2, 3 seconds. You see a spaceship, or a flying cow, or a blimp, or a rocket, or Santa Claus, or Peter Pan and the Lost Children. You know, go flying past the moon, and you're like, oh, and you know you got a chance. That just means you got a chance. Then you have to beat your character without being hit, double flawless, can't press block at all. Blocking will get you nowhere. And then you can't hit him down the pit at the end. You must do the fatality and not screw it up. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about perfection is the key. Getting a double flawless, not screwing up the fatality, not being hit, not pressing block, and then you fight Reptile and you fight him in the pit. And that's cool because it didn't look like that's an arena. You hit someone down there and they die, you know. But that's where you fight Reptile. You fight him down there with all the spikes and everything. And it was just cool, man. And if you did this in the arcade, man, you got respect. Because I remember I did this in the arcade a handful of times. And every time you do it, if there was someone around, they'd watch. Every fucking time. I remember one time I did this at Magic City. There was an arcade in Melbourne called Magic City. And when you do it, the Mortal Kombat arcade machine, it's like dun, 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 dun. Do you know what I mean? It's usually the sound when you beat the game, but the screen flashes as well, like that. So anyone within fucking range of the machine, they straight away look at it. They see the flashing, and it doesn't normally do the flashing and play the sound when you're on the pit, and you're standing there like, you know, you got the heart, like, or you got the spine, you know, and it's like, you have found me, now prove yourself, is in the middle of the screen, you know, and it's just, people just would stop and crowd around and watch, and then you were like, oh, the pressure's on, now I've got to beat Reptile, and Reptile's super fast, you have Scorpion and Sub-Zero's moves, but, you know, you cane him, you fatality him, and you take the 10 million. If you're on player 2 side. If you're on player 1 side, you take the 2 million, which was recently pointed out to me by Interloco. Thanks, Interloco. I thought it was 1 million. I thought Ed, as a programming glitch, dropped a 0, and that's why it was 10 million, 1 million, but it's actually 2 million for some reason on player 1 side. Player 2 side, you get the full 10 million. It's a glitch. But this secret was amazing. And you tell people about this shit, they wouldn't believe you. Because, you know, it was hard to do. It's very, very hard to do and not screw up. You know, and unfortunately, it sucks because a game like MK1, what's going to happen, I mentioned Interloco and the Thinny, they're going to mine the shit before because that's what they do, they're miners. I respect it. I'm a data miner as well. I've been data mining Mortal Kombat games probably longer than those guys. But they do it now. I don't bother, really. I might just do it for my own self, but I haven't mined MK1 at all yet. I've mined 11 and all the other games, but they're going to mine the secret as soon as it's in the files, unfortunately. That's how it is with these games now, being digital and having all the files on your hard drive, do you know what I mean? It was different with an arcade machine. No one had access to the ROM files, unless you were like in the industry maybe, and you dumped the ROMs and did some crazy shit, I don't know. You know, how people would fucking pirate shit and stuff. Maybe then you could like fuck with things and look through things. And they knew this shit was going on because Ed Boon has said a few times that we deliberately hid our names in there, like Ed Boon wins and John Tobias wins. I remember hearing that in interviews and going, and then one day I was looking through the file and I found it. It is in there. It's not bullshit, you know. And Mark Trammell wins, and just like all this just nonsense that they put in the game just to fuck with people because they knew someone would look through the ROMs at some stage. Some guy that had access to all this hardware, and try and find all these secrets. And so they knew people would do this stuff, but it was real niche back in that time. You had to be in the industry. And now anyone can sort of, I've got the hiccups, can get files, Mortal Kombat files, and anyone with talent who can reverse engineer files, like me and Interloco and stuff, and has access to the right tools and stuff, and knows about hexadecimal and headers and fucking BMS scripts and all this stuff, can do this stuff, you know. But Yeah, in the arcade days, it was a different story. It was like I said, real niche. And there was also the arcade days were the best. Man, I wish I could go back to that time. Oh, such a great time, man. But it was you'd get there were different types of people in the arcade. There were different types of personalities. You had the kids that would run around, and then you had the kids that wanted to play the grown-up games, but the grown-ups would always be on those games like Mortal Kombat, and they'd be like, "Go away, you little shit," sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? But the kids would watch. Do you know what I mean? And then you had like, I know you had some guys that were cool, and you could talk to other guys your own age and share information and stuff. But then you had arcade snobs, and I sort of hate arcade snobs a bit. Um, I remember I bumped into a guy once, and on Mortal Kombat 2, he could freeze Reptile every time. And I know how to do this now on Super Nintendo on Goro. It's called Freeze Goro Sweep. And MKT member actually called themselves that, Freeze Goro Sweep, during the Fans versus Developers Challenge or something. And I remember I laughed at that. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting, that fucking glitch, you know. But I remember playing MK2, and this guy was doing it on Reptile, and he wouldn't tell me how the fuck he did it. And it really pissed me off. I'm like, come on. And he wouldn't tell me. But it was a similar glitch where it could make Reptile just freeze. You know, did a series of moves or whatever, and just Reptile just stops. You know, same with Gore, just stops. You can push him, and the clock keeps going. You can uppercut him, that knocks him sort of out of that state, and then he reverts back to normal or something. But yeah, you get snobs. They don't want to share their shit. They want to show off. But look what I can do. And I was never really like that. The only thing I wouldn't share. Someone informed. I think I read it online. My arcade machine was still in the arcade, making money, and I read online that. Oh, what did you have to do? Yeah, on Ultimate MK3, if you beat the game, and then you pick the third treasure, Battle with Ermac, right? You beat him. You have to win one round. Let Ermac win the second round. Or first round. He has to win one round. You have to win one round. Then when you go to round 3, do Mercy. And then when it comes up, finish him. Don't do anything. Just let him go and pass out. Game glitches out. And it goes back to choose your destiny. Choose your destiny. And you can keep playing the game for free. As long as you can get through the game without losing, you can keep doing the same thing. Keep picking the third treasure. Keep doing that trick on Ermac. And going back to the start and keep playing the game. I didn't tell anybody that shit because I didn't want them. I knew there were school kids. I used to give them free games and play with them and stuff and share moves and that. But I didn't tell them that one because they would have just stayed on the game all day and then no one would have played my machine and would not made any money. You know, but I didn't tell them that one. You know, so. But yeah, arcades were a different time. You know, and the Reptile Secret was amazing. The Jade Secret was cool. The Smoke Secret was cool. The way you did this, if you don't know, in Mortal Kombat 2, you had to be on the portal stage, and you'd uppercut, and as soon as you get the toasty, like in the corner, you fucking slam your hand down on the start button, down and start, and then you go boom, 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 and you go into the portal. And the Jade one was great. It was a question mark. You probably saw it in the thumbnail of this video. You know, you had to use low kick before the question mark. Only low kick to win. You got to fight Jade, you know. And these were just cool secrets. And you get teased. And there was no pit fight. The pit fight, to me, is still the best. The Reptile one is still always the best. Because, like, the MK2 ones, and I love MK2, believe me. But you'd go back to Goro's lair, and I kind of thought that was shit. Like, why Goro's lair? Why the cave? That's what it's called in the source code. I saw it. Cave. You know? I'm like, why? Why? Out of all the levels we go back to, why that one? I don't know. I guess it was because there was no portal on the other side of the Earthrealm side. So you had to go somewhere, I guess. I don't know. I would have thought it would have been cool to fight in the pit again, I guess. Or maybe they could have had a new level. That would have been even cooler. But yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I want to thank the people who did this interview. By the way, this interview with Ed, you can check that out. It's linked in the description. If you want to watch the whole thing, they also did an interview with Marty Stoltz. I love that guy. He does great cinematic work. He even mentioned in this interview that he did the pyramid, the Temple of Argus in Armageddon, and he did a whole bunch of the stuff in Shaolin Monks. That guy's awesome. You know, he's always been a cool guy on the cinematics, and yeah, I highly suggest watching those videos. But we're getting a secret character in MK. That's a win. You know, I've been asking for that for a long time. You know, and even if it does get leaked fast, you know, there's videos that Dynasty and stuff have done saying that it's Pink Floyd. That might just be a code name. That might be the real name. I don't know. But it might actually be a Pink Ninja. And this is something I joked about. Ed might be taking a shot at me at that because I kept saying fucking Pink Sub-Zero this and fucking Pink Sub-Zero that on Twitter. And he probably thought, I'm going to make it Pink Sub-Zero to get under TMK's skin. You know, that's alright. It's cool like that, you know. But yeah, we're getting a secret character. I'm really happy about that. You know, it's been something that's lacking from Mortal Kombat for a long time, and I've really missed it. And you know, to have that back, there's hope. And I love it when you put videos up on YouTube and you always get this one dumb comment: "If you don't like Mortal Kombat, why you still play it?" I love those people. They're a different kind of special. You see, I've been a Mortal Kombat fan the whole fucking time. And I don't just abandon something because I don't like something in it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not that sort of person. I try and fight to get... I put my opinions out here. You know? I fight for change. If enough people say we don't like this thing, they will listen to us. Do you know what I mean? I've been doing YouTube 18 years, you know, and I've been a Mortal Kombat fan the whole time. If I don't like shit in Mortal Kombat, that's why I do the videos. I don't like this, and I tell you why. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping for change. I can't promise there'll be change. You know what I mean? But here we are. I've been bitching about no secret characters since MK9, and we're getting a secret character. So there you go. If I had to quit Mortal Kombat because I didn't get the secret character I wanted, I wouldn't even fucking know about it anymore because I would have gone on to something else. So what would have the point been? Huh? Do you know what I mean? You don't have to quit something over one problem. Mortal Kombat 1, it's not the best game for me. I don't have as much fun playing Mortal Kombat 1 as Mortal Kombat Deception. Right? But there are parts of the game that are still fun. The story is fantastic. I love that cinematic presentation. But it's missing so many things. But the whole game's not bad. It's like if you compare it to MK Deception, right? There is more good things in that game than things that piss me off. But unfortunately with MK1, there's more things in MK1 that piss me off than good things. The scale is the other way. That's the problem. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, like I said, the more I critique these things, I hope for change. I'm hoping they get fixed for the next game. Do you know what I mean? I'm hoping. I see DEI as a problem. I don't think that is a choice, a game choice that's been forced in by companies. They get payments. They're forced to do these things. It affects the writing. It affects the story. It affects the game. I'm not a fan of that stuff. Forced diversity. Do you know what I mean? So I call it out. You know, I call out what I think are problems with the game in order to enact change. So yeah, that's it. I'm looking forward to seeing the secret character, and it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, thanks guys, and I'll see you next time for another video. Peace out.